Julius Caesar, Italia campaign. One legion against all odds. Take your own chance to prove your leadership in the hugely popular multiplayer game War Robots. Played by more than 100 million people around the world, almost double the population of the Roman Empire at its full extent, this free-to-play multiplayer game features rich and stunning 3D environments for you to explore and fight in. Pick your own fighting machine from a variety of more than 30 robots, customize it to your will, and equip it to fit your own fighting style. Choosing from hundreds of weapon combinations available, bring your warrior on the battlefield in one of the 9 maps and fight your way to the top in teams of 6 versus 6 players. By downloading the game using the link below, you will not only help us continue the work to bring you new videos, but you'll also receive this great bonus pack to have an edge against your opponents in the field. A Destria robot plus 1 unique skin for it, a full set of weapons, 100 gold and 400k silver. War Robots. Pilot the future. March 49 BC. 3 months after crossing the Rubicon as a rebel against the Roman Republic, Julius Caesar lays siege on the city of Brundisium, joined by an army of 6 legions. Back in January, Caesar swept through the northern Italian peninsula in a swift campaign, taking his enemies by surprise with his marching speed. Unable to offer any military resistance, Pompey and the Roman Senate left Rome and hastily retreated to the south, planning to abandon Italy and regroup in Greece. The senators, along with most of his army, embarked and sailed to Dyrrhachium, while Pompey remained with 2 legions within the city, waiting for the return of his fleet and outnumbered and besieged by Caesar. Aware that the escape of Pompey would mean the prolonging of the civil war, Caesar surrounded the city with his troops and orders the construction of siege earthworks enclosing Brundisium by land. However, with no fleet at his disposal, he had no means of blocking the city's ports. The only possible way of a successful blockade was the use of earthworks at the harbour's mouth. As the gulf that separated the city from the Adriatic Sea had a narrow bay, just outside the city's harbour, Caesar decides to build 2 camps close to the bay and orders his troops to start the construction of 2 earth moles on each side of the bay, in an attempt to close the gap and block the access to the Adriatic Sea. The solution worked close to the 2 shores, where the water was shallow, but once the works advanced towards the center of the bay, the deep waters prevented the construction. Caesar's troops built large rafts, about 10 meters square, and anchored those along each mole to close the remaining gap. More rafts were built, covered with soil and sent across the bay. The rafts were covered with soil, with the sides protected by small palisades and screens, and high towers placed on each 4th raft. Pompey reacts by gathering the largest merchant ships he could find in the city's port and fitting them with high towers and weapons. The ships are sent to slow down Caesar's men's progress, as he only needs to delay the fortification long enough for his fleet to return. Several days of skirmishes and attempts to break through Caesar's defense followed, with Pompey's men using javelins, projectiles, and their ships to disrupt the works, fighting to prevent Caesar to close the gap in the middle of the bay. 9 days after Caesar's attempt to block the port started, the Pompeian fleet arrived and entered the bay, having clear access thanks to the Pompeian troops' efforts. As his fleet approaches the harbour, Pompey ordered his men to wall up the city gate, place traps and fortifications in the streets, and embark in silence. During the following night, the Pompeian fleet broke through Caesar's barricade into the open sea and successfully fled to Dyrrhachium. Although Brundisium was a tactical victory for Caesar, the primary objective of capturing Pompey and swiftly ending the civil war was not met. The narrow escape from Brundisium allowed Pompey to live to fight another day, as the civil war will drag on for one more year with battles in Spain, Illyria, and Greece.